Raising a child is never easy. Sure, there are joyous moments that will make you so happy that your little bundle of joy is all grown up. Go, my child, go for it. Nya-ha-ha-ha-ha. And you're going to have equally frustrating moments that make you wonder why the fuck you ever gave birth to this hideous monster. You're tearing me apart. No wire hangers ever. Yeah, raising a child can be absolutely difficult, or so I've heard. I've never had any children. I will never have any goddamn children. For those that have had children, you're going to get frustrating questions. You're going to get questions like, Mom, how old were you when you felt your first, little bit of butterflies in your belly? I don't actually think that's how children have talked in at least 200 goddamn years. How did you get all the fluttering? How old were you when you fell in love? One of the equally frustrating questions could be, what is best for me? Because honestly, as children are growing up, they want guidance. And all you can do is guide them properly, guide them through the circle of life, the wheel of fortune. And it doesn't matter if you're a blood relative. It doesn't even matter if you're somebody that, actually raised that child as part of the immediate or, surrounding family. You could have found this child on your goddamn doorstep and said, who dropped this little shit on my doorstep? Well, I've always wanted a child. I will raise you and I will hug and squeeze you and call you George. Oh, you're Georgina. Okay, we'll call you that. How is an infant talking to me in this scenario I just came up with in my head? But yeah, what is best for you? Well, honestly, it is difficult for any parent to answer that, but they can answer one particular way. What is best for you? Not A Family Affair, a Netflix original from the director of Living Out Loud, Paris in Love, and Beautiful Creatures. The Beautiful Creatures. Oh. It was written by Carrie Solomon. Should have ended the same way as King Solomon. Well, let's not be frustrating like that. Feature credit, everybody's got to start somewhere. It's Netflix meets Hallmark, meets The Idea of You. They came out with Anne Hathaway and the guy from Bottoms, who is really goddamn good in red, white, and royal blue. Nicholas Galitzine, I forget exactly how you say it. He's really fucking tremendous. Yeah, remember the plot of that? Older woman falls for a younger guy that is associated with her daughter in at least some way, some peripheral way. Well, instead of a pop star falling for an older woman, yes, Anne Hathaway, having to be seen as desirable. Boy, that's a stretch. And the daughter being frustrated and that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's based on a book, I guess, or fan fiction. What is this based on? An idea that was shot out one night, I imagine. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I really didn't like this movie. Nicole Kidman plays Brooke. Nicole Kidman is 57 years old and looks goddamn incredible. She lost her husband, but she still has a great relationship with her mother-in-law, played by Kathy Bates. What Kathy Bates is doing in this, I have no goddamn idea. And Brooke's daughter is Zara, played by Joey King, who I have been a fan of since her brief role in The Conjuring. Even though she was in Wish Upon, Slender Man, and she's been in a lot of horror trash, she's been getting work, and that's important. And I thought she actually had a decent turn in Bullet Train, even though Bullet Train to me wasn't that great. That being said, Joey King, fan of, happy that she got to be on a platform like this, because I think she's a bright and upcoming young actress. So yeah, she's the assistant to an actor named Chris Cole, played by Zac Efron, who's playing an actor. God, that must be so difficult for an actor to do that. Look, acting's got to be difficult. I get it. And I have nothing against Zac Efron. He actually does seem like a fairly nice guy, and he worked hard on the Iron Claw set. If only the fact checkers worked just as hard as the goddamn actors, but I digress. Check out my review of that. By the way, I do want to take a moment to thank everybody for checking out my Letterboxd reviews. I am constantly writing reviews now after people basically strong-arm me into getting an account, and I'm glad I did. So, basically, Brooke and Chris end up hooking up, so to speak. It's like if The Idea of You was written by a sea cucumber, at least directed by a sea cucumber. Maybe not written, because I'm sure the writing probably was better than what they ended up executing, because this is just bland and generic and banal. But yeah, it's just The Idea of You, but with a Hallmark twist and a better cast. Well, that's unfair, actually. The cast in The Idea of You was pretty good, but it had Amazon production values. This is just Netflix hashed out trash. Sherry Cola's in this. Sherry Cola, who was in Shortcomings and also Joyride. Shortcomings is underappreciated. Joyride definitely deserved more love than it got. And Lisa Koshy, who, or Liza Koshy, if I said that wrong, I apologize. She plays Jeannie, or Jeannie. I don't know why anybody would call their child that, but nevertheless. She is a friend of Zara's, and look, the idea is that Zara basically is tired of being just treated badly by Chris. So after she essentially quits, even though he fires her, he realizes, hey, oh shit, I haven't treated her well. I need her. I can't go to the grocery store. I can't do this stuff. I need to get her back. And then he ends up waiting at the house and talks to Nicole Kidman, and they end up, getting together and doing the bump and grindy thing. And yeah, Nicole Kidman having to feel desirable. Oh God, geez, that must be such a stress. I'm sorry. If there's anybody that can resist Nicole Kidman, you are a better person than me. Yeah, Zara isn't happy about that, and from there we basically get discussions about the mother-daughter relationship, the fact that the daughter should want the mother to be happy, even though she knows this guy. Maybe he's turned over a new queef. I don't think that's actually how it goes. And Kathy Bates pops in occasionally to be Kathy Bates. It's like if they made her a role in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. A lot worse. A lot worse. Yeah, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I'm going to get into spoilers here in a minute. It's on Netflix. It's just sappy and stupid and follows the same beats. And if you've seen The Idea of You, you saw the better version of this. Even if this had come out before The Idea of You, I would have thought The Idea of You was better because it had chemistry between the people. This just felt like they were essentially putting the actors out there to play parodies of themselves. Joey King goes for the physical comedy, and I will give her that much credit. There's one particular sight gag where she runs into a door frame. Head trauma. It's hilarious. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Zac Efron is endearing, and Nicole Kidman is just a drop-dead bombshell, like always. But yeah, the movie isn't great at all. At all. Not funny. Not endearing. Drags on for goddamn ever. So it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. I'm going to get into spoilers. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, spoilers. Okay, so after losing her husband, Brooke, she meets Chris. And Chris Cole, I kept wanting to call him Chris Colt. Thank God it wasn't Chris Colt. Non-wrestling fans will be confused. Fame isn't easy, obviously. If you are a celebrity, it would be difficult to go places, and sometimes you just want a normal life. So, Kathy Bates talks about how Brooke, was a writer, but she hasn't written a book since her husband passed. And Zara wants to make it big. She had to move back in with her mother, or live with her mother. It's difficult. Who is this for exactly is what I noted, because none of the comedy works. Zoe basically doesn't tell her mother that she quit, at least not initially. Jeannie shows up, and Jeannie also has a significant other she ends up breaking up with at some point, and Zara's not aware because Zara's so up her own goddamn ass. Brooke and Chris, they end up doing the bump and grindy and the nasty and stuff like that. And again, it would be impossible to resist Nicole Kidman. In fact, I think that's actually the one thing about this movie that it gets right, is it would be impossible to resist her. So, Zara doesn't feel she can be a writer, but her mother-in-law, or her grandmother, that is, basically encourages her, says, hey, you can do this, I believe in you. And Sherry Cola also plays somebody that is trying to become a writer and everything. And I have to say, Sherry Cola is actually very funny and has great comedic timing. This doesn't play to her strengths, but she tries her best. Basically, Zara catches them in the act. She tries to break them up, but then realizes, shit, they should be together. But there was this thing earlier where, as her assistant, she was trying to, or as Chris's assistant was trying to get him some earrings as kind of a parting gift because he was breaking up with his girlfriend. Because every time things get good for him, he runs away because he doesn't feel that he's good enough. Oh, he's vulnerable. Yeah. Yeah, basically, everybody's idiotic in this and cliched. And, Chris tries to be endearing to Brooke because they actually do. They claim to have chemistry, despite the fact that I don't think these two could warm up if they were cremated together. And I mean the characters, I'm not talking the actors. But then we get a Christmas celebration. And just don't let love pass you by like winter in July. If anybody knows who did that song recently, I love you guys. Actually got to see her in concert, shockingly enough. So, yeah, there we go. Charlie and Brooke were going to break up, like divorce. He got sick. She stayed together with him. It was jealousy over a book, by the way, as to why they wanted to, or he wanted to get a divorce, because apparently Charlie was a dick. And Zara basically gets a associate producer Christmas gift thing because she wanted to be a producer because Chris had promised that to take him under her under his wing. Try to get that the gender politics right there. There was also an earlier scene where she was trying to torture him on set by translating some French, but translating it badly. And then there were earrings in the bag because he was going to give her earrings as a parting gift because he felt she was too good for him. But he got her a hardcover book of all her articles and Vogue and stuff and everything. And great, it's good. Well, then Zara basically breaks them all up. Now there's 20 minutes, just enough time for her basically to find out that her friend Jeannie had broken up with her significant other. Oh, you're so up your own ass and everything. You didn't even realize that this had happened. And we had broken up when you'd stayed here after you had that blow up with your mom. And New Year's happens. And then somehow, out of nowhere, Cinderella story, we have Zara taking Chris to a grocery store. And it turns out this is all a big setup, a production to get her mother and Chris back together. They do. 1 year later, everybody's fine. And Zara's trying to be a good person with an assistant that is, and yeah, Joey King certainly, look, the cast tries here. The cast tries. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Lazy storytelling. Very generic. Very bland. I didn't laugh once. And I wanted this to at least be mildly endearing, and it really wasn't. So, yeah, it's an F. Sorry. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Reitland. I'll see you soon.